2 years ago, Glenn Beck's manufactured crusade against environmental advocate Van Jones cost the White House advisor his job with the Obama administration. Now, with Beck about to lose his job at Fox News, Van Jones has challenged him to a debate.
But I issue a personal challenge to my beloved brother Glenn Beck. I will debate you anytime, anywhere, at any point. I'll give you an hour, you give me 5 minutes, and I will stand up for our values, but you would have to stop talking about us and start talking to us. You got 1 week left before your show goes off. My phone is ringing. Call me. Call me, Glenn Beck.
Speaking of phones, Glenn Beck once put a phone on his TV stage and begged the White House to call him up and debate him. But in responding to Van Jones's challenge, Beck ran for cover and chose to engage in more character assassination.
I love you as well, and I would hope that you would put your communist revolutionary tactics aside, because it only leads to death. And when you see the error of your ways, my brother, we'll have a hard laugh. You probably will have to spend some time in jail if things would go awry.
Van Jones joins me tonight from Washington. Good evening, Van. Good to have you with us.
Good to see you, brother.
It sounds like Beck is doubling down on his attempt to portray you as a communist, as a radical. What's your response to this evening?
Well, you know, I have tried to be a turn-the-other-cheek kind of guy about this type of stuff, but I only got 4 cheeks and I'm running out. I mean, the guy has been relentless for 2 years. It's like having a stalker. And, you know, he knows these are lies. He just says the same thing over and over again. So but I was willing to put up with it. You know why I finally decided that enough was enough? We started working with people all across the country who were trying to defend and rebuild the American dream. And he attacked the American dream on his show. He said the American dream was something that was some horrible conspiracy he couldn't support. At that point, I said, listen, you cannot belittle American values. You cannot belittle the American dream. People are fighting hard every day just to be able to put food on the table. And I said, enough is enough. And so I said, listen, quit smearing me and lying and making up stuff. Let's debate the actual issues. And so far, he's running away from it.
Would there be legal action here on your part if there is no debate? I mean, you say he's smearing you. What's that mean?
Well, I mean, what it means is you know what you can do in this country with edited video and taking statements out of context. Just like Shirley Sherrod told the story how she used to be concerned about white folks, not comfortable with white folks, and then she found her way to racial healing. But they took it out of context and ran her out. They did the same thing to me. I talked about how I used to be on the left side of Pluto when I was a kid running around the Bay Area, and I since have found my way to free market solutions to help fight poverty. But he has taken it out of context. He's done it for 2 years, and I think we need to actually debate the real issues. Here's the real issues. We have a country now where some people, no matter how hard they work, cannot succeed. No matter how much they play by the rules, they can't succeed. Other people, no matter how lazy they are, and no matter how many times they break the rules, they can't fail. They're too big to fail. That is what's wrong with America. And we need to come to the table and come forward with real solutions to get accountability from Wall Street and opportunity to Main Street. That's the real fight in America, not these silly smear campaigns.
2 years ago, he really attacked you. Was that really the reason why you had to leave the Obama administration? And why did you wait 2 years to punch back at him and challenge him like this?
Yeah, well, you know, when I was in the White House, I thought that, you know, it would be better for me to not be a distraction. I didn't want the President of the United States. This is the first time we had a president who was stepping up to the plate, trying to get doctors to babies. We're talking about health care, a life or death issue. And rather than talking about America's future, he wants to talk about colorful, silly things I did in my past. I thought, hey, let me get out of the way. Let this president take on this issue. If you had told me 2 years later the guy would still be going on and on like a stalker, you know, maybe I would have made a different decision. Reality is, at this point, we need to be focused on the real issues. And the other thing I want to point out is we have now a new campaign. It's called the American Dream Movement. I'm blessed to be working with groups like MoveOn.org, the Center for Community Change, and others who want to get serious, not the silly stuff, want to get serious about how can we get jobs back for Americans. And I think that's what scared him when he saw a new movement arising, and so he goes back doing the same silly stuff. It's time for us to take seriously how all Americans could come together to make sure that the American dream does not get killed by the worst of Wall Street and by entertainers who want to distract the country.
I mean, I'm surprised that Beck hasn't jumped on your offer to debate. I mean, he's a big showman. What a great way to go out. Maybe he's saving you for internet TV down the road or something, but...
Well, you stay on the air so everybody can get to you, Ed, and I'd love to come back on your show and talk more about the American Dream movement. I'm not surprised that somebody who's mainly an entertainer focusing on distraction is afraid to have a substantive debate. Let's talk about my real ideas, not made-up stuff, phony stuff.
Van Jones from the Center for American Progress, thanks for joining us tonight on this subject. Thank you. It's a sad day for the American worker as the Supreme Court sides with Walmart. I've got the details. And Senator John McCain is using the devastating Arizona wildfires to fearmonger about illegal immigrants. That's coming up in Psycho Talk. Stay with us.